Yes, indeed, folks, the sounds of Alice Cooper, School's Out. Yes, I know, it was a very cruel choice for some of you that has to go to school tomorrow, but boo-hoo, I've got to go to work tomorrow. Nah. Die. Anyway, you're listening to WoW Radio on the Blue Police Show. I'm myself, Total Biscuit, and we're approaching the end of the show. Got a couple more features to do and a couple more things to talk about before we bugger off and do our own thing, whatever that may be. Thanks for listening tonight. The listenership numbers have been quite good considering we moved the time slot. Hopefully they will continue to increase in future, and hopefully my next show will be a bit better prepared. Spent about 2 hours prepping this show, which is less than usual. I just haven't had the time. But that will change once I get into this whole work routine and organising things. Also, a lot of people have been saying, yes, my volume's been changing and varying. That's because I'm moving my head around a lot, and hopefully by next week I'll have a nice new microphone with a pop shield and a proper little stand, and I'll be getting myself a one-track preamp to increase the volume of my voice, so that we don't have all these issues of me sounding strained on the microphone. But yeah, that's going to be dealt with. Thanks for the constructive feedback on that one. Anyway, this is a sarcasm and satire warning. Those who cannot handle the idea that sarcastic, satirical, and things which are not necessarily true may be heard in the next 3 minutes should tune out right now, because it's the special lag-themed edition of Nupcake News. Welcome to this week's edition of Nupcake News. Coming up later in the programme, I'm using stories about ethnic minorities and their crazy shenanigans. But first, a worldwide hunt is on for the mysterious lag monster who is responsible for the destruction of the majority of European servers this week. The infamous creature has been codenamed OMFG Hacks by the authorities and is believed to be somewhere in the region of 40 feet tall with nasty big pointy teeth. The community was shocked this week when leaked memos from Blizzard indicating that not only were they aware of the presence of this creature, but kept it in captivity for special occasions while fielding its server racks every few weeks. This report has sent shockwaves through the European WoW community. Several guilds have already been reported to have committed ritual suicide due to a lack of World of Warcraft this week. One of the few surviving guilds is Gank, the Gamers Alliance for Noob Killers, whose Grand Wizard Fizgard von Nubstick had this to say. If Blizzard doesn't find and destroy the mythical lag monster immediately, then it will find itself with a lot of blood on its hands. We've already had to restrain half our members in padded cells to keep them from hurting themselves with the sharp sides of shattered Linkin Park albums. One of our hardcore players almost killed himself trying to eat the World of Warcraft discs in desperation. In this modern world, it is inconceivable to believe that a large, complex piece of software running hundreds of clustered servers could possibly go wrong in any way. We put the blame firmly on the lag monster and, more importantly, Blizzard for failing to control it. We demanded it be exterminated at once. That's what exactly they were going to do about this potentially apocalyptic situation. Blizzard President George What's-His-Face did not reply. We went to Blizzard Towers to investigate and found a room covered in blood, with Mr. What's-His-Face's boots lying haphazardly on the floor. We found a terrified work experience guy on the floor who appeared to be chained to a desk. After calming him down, we managed to get him to give us the following statement.
It was terrifying. The monster smashed its way through the wall. It ate half the graphic design team before starting on the code monkey. I managed to escape by hiding under my desk. I think it went for the server farms and then left. It's all a conspiracy. The president used to joke about it, how he'd let the lag monster out to annoy the community. I always thought he was being metaphorical, but no, it's real. It's got sharp talons, big teeth, it's real.
At this point, the work experience guy began to gibber inanely before ripping free of his chains and jumping out the nearest window. We decided to leave the premises quickly before we ourselves were devoured by this hideous lag monster. It is clear that the lag monster must be hunted down and killed before it destroys us all. Blizzard should be truly ashamed of themselves for harbouring such a merciless abomination. This has been Nupcake News. Good night. Oh dear, very violent and horrible events in the world of Nupcake News. Alright, last leg of the show. Another 5 minutes of talking or so, just enough time to cover the imbecile of the week and round up exactly what the hell we're supposed to have been talking about. I can't really remember. Blue Plays always becomes a bit of a blur for me at this point. What did I talk about? Why am I even here? Who are you people? Why am I in my house? Never mind. Yes. We've been talking about various things this week. Progressive content. What the hell is going on with the EU servers? Fun. Again. Fun is a very popular topic on this show. We like fun. We don't cover balance issues or stuff like that. We like fun and more general ranting topics. That's always fun. But yes, just enough time to cover the imbecile of the week and tell you what exactly is going to be going on with WoW Radio at BlizzCon. And of course we will be at BlizzCon. I will be at BlizzCon. I got myself my plane ticket. I need to get myself a passport so I can get out of this damn country. But I will be going to BlizzCon. I will be going a few days in advance, so anyone that wants to meet up and drink themselves silly, well, I'm definitely up for that one. So let's see, blah, blah, blah. What am I looking for? Yes, the imbecile of the week. Where is he? Where is he? I know he's down here somewhere. Get the content. Let's see. Aha, the imbecile of the week. Now, this is a disclaimer. I am not insulting gay people or black people or role players in this particular segment. I just think this guy's a moron. Disclaimed. No racism, sexism, genderism, whatever you like to call it here. So, this guy says this. Hello, this post is in regards to weddings and other romantic ceremonies in the World of Warcraft. Other very popular and successful MMOs have implemented wedding systems. Examples include SWG, EverQuest, and several others. In SWG, 2 players with rings can create a marriage at any place at any time. Now, here's where it gets a little bit weird. I also believe heterosexual and homosexual relationships should be included in this. Homosexual weddings were entirely possible in SWG and should take place in WoW as well. Weddings should span across all boundaries in real life, as video games are designed to create an exciting heterosexual and homosexual friendly world. Weddings should also allow for members of different races to marry as well. This would include undead marrying orcs, trolls marrying taurens, and so on. Blizzard, by allowing this to take place in the marriage system, you can show your support for the following very important ideals: gay rights and the rights of racial minorities to wed other races. This is where it gets a little bit odd. I don't like politics getting involved in my video games. I get involved in video games because it's escapist. That's the whole point. I don't want politics and race and credo, gender, sexual orientation being involved in my games. It doesn't really make any difference. So, gay rights and racial minority rights in World of Warcraft. There is no place for this in World of Warcraft. There's no place for any political ideal or social ideal of any description in the video game because it alienates people. It really does. You do realise how blatantly obvious that some people are going to take advantage of this fact. You know, that if this system were put into the game, some people are simply going to use it to annoy people. You don't want that. You really don't want that. And it gets more disturbing as we go down the post. As an active black gay person in SWG, I married several male players on the server of Chilestra of all species. Some of the marriages lasted hours, others for days at a time before we had a divorce. I can't really grasp this idea in my head of in-game marriages. What? And this is where it gets really disturbing. His first marriage was to a guy called Just Insane, a male Wookiee. Our marriage lasted 3 weeks. Second one, Platinum Hacksaw Zor, male Trandosian, married for a total of 3 hours. And the third one was Zeru, a male Rhodian, married for 8 days. All of my marriages were fun and exciting. Sexual intercourse was not allowed in the game, of course, so we had to improvise and put our imaginations to work. Oh my god. I think I've just lost all faith in mankind. Someone give me a Shattered Linkin Park album so I can cut my wrists. It's a Wookiee! What are you doing? Oh dear. It's gone into the realms of really terrible fan fiction, here. Sorry, but gay Wookiee sex is not acceptable in any form of life. Any walk of life, totally and completely unacceptable. I do not want those kind of images in my head, thank you. Ugh. God. Horrible. Dick. Nothing against gays, nothing against racial minorities, but... Sorry, gay Wookiee sex, come on! Give me a break, please! Just as I think the internet can't sink any lower. Oh dear me. Yeah, so, whoever actually posted that needs a good slap around their head. What are you doing? Oh dear, it's reducing me to a snivelling wreck as we speak, so I better end the show. You've been listening to Blue Please here on WoW Radio. I'm going to leave you with those horrible, disturbing images of Wookiees and compromising positions. Thank you for listening. I usually end the show on a few tracks. I'm going to do exactly that. I want to end on something epic. truly epic. It's Rhapsody. It's Sacred Power, Raging Winds. Thank you for listening, folks. This is Blue and Blue, please. The premier EU show here on WoW Radio. Back the same time next week, and also back on the Ironforge Metal Show at 6 o'clock British Standard Time on Tuesday, part of the Downtime Down Under. That's at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Rhapsody, Sacred Power, Raging Winds. Thank you for listening. It's good night from me, and enjoy.